So the President-elect Trump has also floated purchasing Greenland from Denmark as world powers to race to boost their presence in the Arctic. A former Trump ambassador to the Kingdom of Denmark, Carlin Sands, agreed to talk with us about this. So no one thinks, again, President-elect Trump could actually buy Greenland, do they?
Well, it's more the idea. It's the art of the deal. Denmark is a kingdom, and it has the Faroe Islands and Greenland, the world's largest island, just off our northeast coast, and it's 1/3 the size of the continental U.S. And if you have Denmark, which is an economy and population close to the size of Colorado, our state, can you imagine Colorado trying to defend and develop the world's largest island full of rare earth minerals, gold, energy? And so we don't really want Russia or China, for instance, to control that island, which wants to go independent. They want to be independent. And so we need to make sure to secure it on behalf of the American people, understanding that Greenlanders want opportunity and want to prosper as well.
So we're already seeing Denmark say it will increase security money for Greenland. The president-elect is getting part of what he wants by just bringing this up in this debate, right?
Well, you could say that. I mean, Denmark's it's a great country. They're good friends of ours for a long time. They've gone into tough places with us. Their military is capable, but they're not even able to defend Denmark, the small country of 5.5 million people. They just don't have the capacity. And $1.5 billion, I will just say, it's a drop in a bucket of what's needed, because I'm sure it's over multiple years. And then we have really, even the U.S. and certainly Denmark has a lack of awareness of what's in the North Seas, in that giant GI-UK gap. And GI-UK stands for Greenland, Iceland, and the UK, which is just below where the Faroe Islands are. So that whole North Atlantic into the North Sea, we need to know what's above, on, and below the water. We need to make sure those sea lines of communication stay open for our own security.
So, Carla, then what does engagement look like? What should President-elect Trump do in his first term?
Well, he has the best advisors, so I'm not going to tell him what to do. But I know what we were working on and toward in the first Trump administration, and that was securing the region, making sure we have awareness. So, for instance, Russia's militarized their Arctic coast. They have renovated old Cold War bases. They have new bases. They're very, very prepared. Meanwhile, the U.S., we have 2 icebreakers. Russia has 50. They have missiles on their icebreakers. So we have to be able to have strength, project strength, but actually be strong everywhere in the world. If we neglect an area, which we have neglected the high north for decades, then bad actors can come in. And what we want to make sure is that we don't have a situation like Cuba, for instance, where Russia and Venezuela, now China, is really they're wagging that dog. And we want to control this. The people of Greenland are a lot like our Alaskan natives.
Well, I want to ask you about this. The second part of what the president-elect wants, you talked about the natural resources in Greenland. Do you see agreements with Greenland in our future in a Trump administration related to rare earth minerals that could be mined up there?
Well, it's a great idea. So a majority of the mines in Greenland actually have the Chinese Communist Party or a related company has a minority interest in a majority of the mines. U.S., when I left in 2021, didn't have any investment in private companies in Greenland. But what we were able to do is put a consulate in Greenland, working with the Trump White House and the State Department and Congress. And we did things like help them with their the legal framework so that they can have successful mining. The Greenlanders they don't want to have Chinese as their second language. They want English. So we sent English language teachers. We're helping them with their contract law. But we also did analysis of some of the rare earths up there. I visited those fields of rare earths.
Carla,
I visited the mines.
Let's talk about Greenland, because President Trump's also talking actively about Greenland. What's the latest there?
Well, the latest is Greenland is a highway from the Arctic all the way to North America to the United States. It's strategically very important to the Arctic, which is going to be the critical battleground of the future, because As the climate gets warmer, the Arctic is going to be a pathway that maybe it cuts down on the usage of the Panama Canal. And the Russians and Chinese are all over the Arctic. Now, the Kingdom of Denmark owns Greenland, and they've got an obligation to defend Greenland. And so President Trump said, if you don't defend Greenland, we'll buy it, and we'll defend it, but we're not going to defend it for free and let you know, and not develop Greenland and not extract the minerals and oil and resources of Greenland. And while we defend it, Denmark gets rich, and the King of Denmark, you know, becomes even wealthier. Denmark is now on the front lines of the war against Russia and China. They're like the Baltic states, they're like Poland, because of their vast territory in Greenland. And so they've got to defend Greenland, and if they can't defend it, we're going to have to, and we're not going to do it for free. So the Danes can either put the frigate that's necessary there, they can put the air wings, they can put the missiles in Greenland, and they can put the infantry there that they need to defend the country, just like the Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia are doing in Eastern Europe. Or they can pay us to do it, and we'll do it, but they can cover the cost of the defense. Or if they don't want to do either of those things, they can let us buy Greenland from them, and Greenland can become part of Alaska. I mean, the native people in Greenland are very closely related to the people of Alaska, and we'll make it a part of Alaska. But they can't have it. The U.S. can't defend it for nothing, and the days of the U.S. taxpayer defending Western Europe and kingdoms in Europe and defending their empire for nothing, those days are over. And we love the Danish people. They're great. Denmark's a wonderful place. Copenhagen is a wonderful city. But they've got to do their part. They can't have this vast empire and then not defend it and leave it to the U.S. to do it. So we're going to either buy it, they're going to defend it, or they can pay us to defend it. But it's no more free riding, even for people we love like the Danes.